bitch like I'm him. Cause I know I am Mr. ATM. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Yo, it's your boy Mike Book, Sauce God Legend. How did we get here? You know what time it is. It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying, but we still with it and we still winning in an undisclosed location, which you already know where the destination is. You're gonna see who we got sitting in the seat with me and who I be in my seat. Must I continue? Yes. Come holla at the best. Stay fresh. Yeah. What I tell him? Yeah, Sauce God Legend. I embrace it. Levels that I take it. Most couldn't make it. A lot of y'all fake it. Will made it still, the seal lock couldn't break it. Profit on the table, it was all for the taking. Taking your time, the timing that it take to refine. And straight from the signs, the scenes he let it play in his mind. He was played on and preyed on. Both shoulders fully let it weight on. Got the weight off and it didn't take it. Then Nia and the Kia tried to leave the shit. Kia take the shit and dip faster than them tacos. That's Berea. See ya, I had to treat baby like Gator Baby.
Yo, it's mom, but this rap shit's supposed to be ours. They gave me bad advice, that's dope, they was coaching me out. I did shit they supposed to be proud of. When you stand tall, they try to bring you down like both of the towers. I never count smoke with a collar. There's only beef when you really gotta creep with your toast to the shower. Y'all got desperate and broke the nostalgia. I knew you was dissing me. I still told niggas go get your album. My own people though, I know it's the outcome. Got me coming through friends, peeking over my shoulder like Malcolm. I stashed dope in the folds of the couches. You might think we're the same, but how you deal with emotions, I doubt it. Without me, they were stolen the talent. I'm the nigga who struck gold, then went back and told her I found it. The fire hot, you gotta know when to douse it. I put your little spark up. Better use your dome for I scalp it. The work cheap like clothes from the outlet. When that pot broke, I still trying to save all the coke I could salvage. You was a pet, you disclosing about it. I bought cribs and gave keys and codes to my houses to both of my spouses. I'm a P like sauce.
Okay. What's up, world? It's your boy Mike Book, Sauce God Legend, held at 777, and we got a legend. You know what I'm saying? Legend in the building next to the Sauce God Legend. It's Mr. MIC, Must I Continue, and we got Mr. Ron Ski. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Regan in the building.
That's right.
Salute to the brother, man. Appreciate you pulling up. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you having me on your platform, man. You know, I felt like you reached out to me, you know, about a year ago actually. And you know, I'm rarely in town. You know, I came out here for a memorial for my annual event for my friend that passed away. And you know, rest in peace, dude.
Rest in peace, man.
And you know, I just came to chop it up with you, you know, make sure that we, you know, link up and, you know, connect in the real world the same way we did in the virtual world.
I mean, that's just what we do, connect dots on how did we get here. So
yes,
it's all fitting, you know what I'm saying? My brother traveled 17 hours just to sit here, man, and drop some jewels, man, some words of wisdom, man, some game.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? You follow the drip, you know what I'm saying? Like the late great Robin Harris, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
follow the drip, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna kick it off like this. All right, so we just listened to this Benny the Butcher, and a lot of people don't know, you know, your origin story or what you got to contribute or what you contributed to the game, because like I said, he's a legend, you know what I'm saying? Follow the drip.
Yes, sir. What
I mean by that is, what is your actual staple in this game that gives people the that's drawing your artistic, you know what I'm saying, designs to people that want to know exactly what you've been able to do in your creative space?
You know, first and foremost, I'm born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You know, initially I was just an artist, right? You know, pen to paper, paint to a canvas. You know what I'm saying? Eventually it changed into graffiti, and the graffiti kind of pushed me into the clothing realm, because, you know, let's say I had a tag, you know, my mom seen the tag on like a building or something like that, and she was like, yo, you need to use that talent for something that's not going to get you locked up.
So what kind of tag was it? that you had back in the day?
You know, allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know, my name's Ski.
Right,
so
right.
I will put the ski on everything. You understand what I'm saying? So
and what time frame is this?
This is you know, mid to early 90s.
Okay.
You know,
so bro been putting in his work, man, for a long time, man. Long time.
So, you know, my mom, like I said, was, you know, saying, yo, you need to use that talent for something that's not going to get you locked up.
Right.
So, you know, that's how I kind of transitioned into apparel and the clothes and stuff. So instead of doing the art on somebody's wall or, you know, a building or something like that, I began to do it on apparel and clothing and stuff like that. And I basically continued to push that flag forward and push that envelope forward into many realms and many different facets of the world of art and creativity.
Okay.
Initially, I was a musician. I used to, you know, rap and, you know, do the poetry and such.
Rap and poetry. So
yes.
What would you say makes that because a lot of people say spoken word, poetry, rap are all different.
True.
But how did you blend all of that into your artistry?
Okay, so in elementary school, I went to a gifted school here in Grand Rapids called Vandenberg Arts Academy. So at this school, it was one class for each grade, from kindergarten to 6th grade.
Wow.
So each class was basically nurturing your creativity. It was a creative art school. So they taught us, you know, art. They taught us dance. They taught us drama, you know, so acting and so on and so forth, doing plays, putting on plays and so on and so forth. So at that school, I met another musician that's from Grand Rapids. His name is Willie. I don't know if y'all know him. His name is Willie the Kid.
Willie the Kid.
Okay, so in elementary school, me and Willie the Kid, of course, is coming up. You know, me and him formed a group at that school, and we put on a talent show at that school. And
really?
if I remember correctly, we got like first place. You know, he did rapping. I did a little bit of rapping and singing at that time. Now that was like the 6th grade.
Right.
So, you know, after that, you know, he went on to a charter school called City High School or City Middle School.
Yeah, City.
So at that point, I wanted to be with my friends. You understand what I'm saying? Like I lived in a urban environment. You know, kind of.
Where you grow up?
I grew up off of Dickinson and Madison. I don't know if y'all know.
Mad Ave.
So yeah, Mad Ave was pretty much my environment.
Right.
And
I'm off Dickinson, but I'm off Dickinson and Eastern, Dickinson and Kalamazoo.
Okay, so yeah, same, you know, not that far from
right.
it, you know, maybe a half a mile or so away. So I wanted to be around the people that I lived around because we caught a bus to that school.
Right.
Now, Willie's parents and stuff, they were already musicians, so they kind of, you know, pushed him into like the gifted, you know, more than, let's say my mom was just an average working parent.
Yeah, you kind of just fell into your lap.
Yeah, so basically what I did was I went to high school at a regular public school. I didn't want to go to the gifted program and be along with the gifted kids anymore.
And
you know,
where'd
I wanted
you go
to be.
To high school?
I went to a couple high schools here in Grand Rapids. I went to Central High School for a year. I went to East Kentwood for a year.
Oh, he was a Falcon too.
And then I went to Ottawa for a year.
And an Indian.
And then after Ottawa, I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
So for my senior year, I went to high school in Atlanta.
Right.
Now, at that school is where I met Westside Gun. So, I met him rapping. So, basically, I was a new kid. You know, he was a new kid at the time, but he was an underclassman. I was a senior. He was in the 10th grade.
Right.
Now, because I nurtured the hip-hop, Willie had gone to Ottawa as well. He stopped going to City, and then he went to Ottawa in his 11th grade year alongside, you know, me.
Right.
So we continued the rapping and the ciphers and, you know, so on and so forth. And he was in a group called Shogun at that time. So I would be in the cipher with them, rapping with them. And then when I got to Atlanta, what's up?
I think that's the same group A1 was talking about.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That's when you said Shogun, I'm like,
Yes.
A1 was talking about that.
True. He was in the
Salute
group
my
as well.
brother A1, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
salute Dre.
Loud Chief, you know what I'm saying?
Salute
Yeah.
Loud Chief. Yes.
But yeah, continue, brother.
So-
it just made trigger my brain.
Okay, so when I moved to Atlanta, I continued my freestyling
Right.
in the ciphers and beating on the table and beating in the lunchroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess word kind of spread that I was some guy from Michigan who was just killing shit in the ciphers and such. And Westside and another guy at that time, they had heard about it, but they wasn't in the same lunch as me. So they skipped their lunch to come to my lunch to find out what it was about. They approached me, and I assumed they wanted to battle. But so I just went straight to battling them. I didn't, it was like relentless. You approach, so I basically rapped against the guy who was with him and him at the same time. Like, I ain't even gonna wait for y'all to go back and forth. I'm just gonna cut into both of y'all.
Gotta do it.
So after school that day, he was outside waiting, him and the guy. I assumed that they wanted to fight about it, so I'm like, so what, we supposed to fight over a rap battle? They like, no, that wasn't even why we approached you in the first place.
Right.
We have a rap group, and it's called Forerunners. So Benny, who we was talking about earlier, Benny was also a member of Forerunners with Westside. So they wanted me to be in the rap group with them. He like, man, we recording at the house. We heard about you. We want you to join the group. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Righteous.
So because I was in the clothes and the fashion and stuff, and the art, creativity and such, Westside was into the creativity and such like that too, but he just didn't have the mechanics. He understood what he wanted things to look like, but he didn't, necessarily know how to do it.
Right. So
at that point, we was dyeing wallabies. I don't know if y'all, remember the Ghostface Iron Man album cover with all of the different wallabies flavors.
Yeah.
So it was a shoe repair place here in Grand Rapids called Head and Souls. So I was sending my wallabies from Atlanta out here to get dyed and wearing them to school. And Westside like, man, where you get them? And so I was, hey, I'll hook you up. I'll send, hook you up with my folks.
Right.
So we just became friends like that. You know
Just
what I'm saying? Just connection. And so what ended up happening was, while in the group, eventually Benny and his brother, Machine Gun Black, they rest in peace. They end up coming to Atlanta also from Buffalo. So Westside is in Atlanta living with his aunt, and then Benny and Machine Gun, which is his cousins, they are now also living with the aunt. So I met them at that time, and then we collectively, rapping in the group. So what ended up happening was I graduated. So Westside, because he was an underclassman, he of course stayed in school.
Right.
I wanted to come back to Grand Rapids. I never even wanted to go to Atlanta in the first place. I just had to go down there because I wasn't doing too good as far as my grades and so on and so forth. So in order to still graduate on time, I moved out there. So whatever the case, when I came back out here, eventually he ended up graduating, and the group Forerunners, and it stands for For You Niggas.
For you niggas.
Yes. So the group Forerunners, I would make us jackets, varsity coats, and all this stuff for us to wear and rock around school and such. And they continued on with the rapping. I kind of didn't really want to do the rapping as much.
So I just want to pause it right there.
Okay.
What made you have that mindset to not want to follow a trend and become a trend? Because in an early age, you had a mindset of, I'm not necessarily going to take because I might be, the best spitter.
True.
But instead, I have a talent that's going to take me supremely where I feel like I can gain more not even notoriety, but it feeds my soul and my purpose more than actually being like the forefront of something that's, you know what I'm saying, moving, you know what I'm saying, at lightning speed.
So I've always been a behind the scenes type of person. When I realized that in the music world, and this is from Willie as well as Westside,
right?
That it wasn't about how good you are, and it was more about who you know.
Okay.
I kind of realized, hey, it doesn't even matter if I'm better than y'all.
Exactly.
If I don't know or rub shoulders with the right people, then it's not going to go anywhere.
It's going to be right here.
Exactly.
Right,
so,
right.
you know, I realized that, hey, I got another talent that I can nurture. So I'm going to let y'all do that side of it, and then I'll circle back around and assist y'all on the clothing side of it at a later date. So that's kind of how that happened.
But because I guess my question is because it's not too many groups or just people that, you know, have fashion first, you know what I'm saying, as their pretty much mission statement.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Griselda, me personally, I know them from fashion first. That's why I was, when I found out you was from here, I was blown away. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because that was what I was drawn to, them first. Was the abstract art, you know what I'm saying? The Scorpion, you know what I'm saying? The Fashion Rebel joint. I remember I seen it was a freestyle from Conway before he got shot. And he was in the kitchen. Him, West Side. He was snapping for like 8 minutes. And he had a Fashion Rebel hat with the Confederate flags on them joints. And I was drawn to that. I was just throwing it, like, I was like, it was crazy. It was fly, but it was also like a message behind it.
Yes, sir.
So I was always like, what was the message behind a lot of that?
So I could give you a little breakdown of how that went. So, initially, Westside didn't want to rap at this time. So what ended up happening was, when Conway got shot, Westside was attempting to manage Conway prior to him getting shot. So he was knocking on doors and, you know, trying to get his brother into the light.
Right.
But once his brother got shot, then it was like, I guess I'm going to have to step into the light.
Right.
So initially, the brand was something that me and him did together. So my brand, which is called Regan Era, was me and Westside's together.
Right.
So we started the Regan Era brand, and my brand presented his first album. So if you go back, you'll see Hitler Wears Air Mask is by Regan Era.
Exactly.
So at that time, Westside had a different vision than I had as a fashion designer. So in order to salvage our friendship, I said, okay, bro, let's not keep bumping heads on the clothing side of it. I'll help you produce your own side of the clothing thing so we can salvage our friendship and stay cool. So that's how Regan Era transferred or transitioned into Griselda by Fashion Rebels. So the rebel flag that you're talking about was just a idea or a perspective of fashion rebels. Right. So people that's just rebelling against status quo fashion. That so makes sense. The logo that you're talking about with the words going around it, fashion rebels with the little scorpion in the center and the shield, I designed that for him so that he can have his own imprint to continue forward. So dope. But he always stayed repping Regan Era at the same time. Yeah. So initially, the whole idea was push the fashion, push the art, and then let the music promote the fashion in the art. Let the music be a commercial for the fashion in the art.
Right.
And that's just exactly how it went.
That's lit.
Yes, sir.
So we gonna come right back. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Mike Book. How did we get here? We got my brother Ron Ski dropping the science. So we'll be right back. Holla at y'all in a second.
But I tell him no. Play my song. Sauce God, let you hear that 777. It was just me serving me when I needed help. Been putting lashes on these bastards, I ain't need a belt. Black ball, then they act all. That's how the team had felt. SEAL team Marine in the ravine, they couldn't beat it. Stealth, sexually assaulted. Teacher that committed it said they ain't have involvement. Tried to switch the tone, turned around and said he fought kids. Mom and pops, they both tripped. Feeling made my soul sick. Wiggle past the bullshit. I'm trying to elevate up all my lower moments. I did that self-work for me, don't care if no one noticed. And then invest back in self, I'm using all my focus. And turn that hate back to love when they do you bogus. I know you see the pain in my eyes. Empty pale from the well, cause they draining me dry. And I'm trying to keep the trauma from invading my mind. But I gotta stay strong for these babies of mine. Lately I hear them talking out of their mouth. They don't listen, they don't listen. Don't say much, just to say don't get the shit confused. Lately I hear them talking out of their mouth. They don't listen, they don't listen. Don't say much, just to say they'll be missing you. You're not here. Play my song. You're not here. Play my song.
I thought y'all was in the same little circles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I know, shout out to my brother Bronze, you know what I'm saying? Bronze Nazareth and Apollo Brown, you know what I mean? I thought y'all might have been, you know what I'm saying, in the same little circles up there, you know what I'm saying?
So Willie originally came down there to visit, like I was saying, to visit the campus. Now at that time, I knew that West Side Rap. I was in the Forerunners with West Side, but I wanted him to meet Will, but I also wanted him to battle Will.
What campus was y'all visiting?
We was visiting Clark, Atlanta campus.
Ooh,
So
HBCU life.
yes. So I knew that Willie was ill, and I knew that West thought he was, one of the tightest at the school. So I'm like, yo, let me let you meet my man that's from Grand Rapids that I used to rap with as well. You know, another group that I had been with at an earlier time in my life.
Shogun.
So yes, Willie was like, okay, Wes, kick your best rap. And Wes kicked something that was ill, and then Willie just crushed him. Like no other, or just like how Will does. I don't know if any of y'all are a fan of Willie the Kid, but
we know what he do.
He's a very prolific lyricist, very, very strong-minded lyricist. Some of the stuff that he put together is just like amazing. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, he could have been a doctor. He could have been a lawyer. He's that smart, but he just chose to do the music. I'm assuming because his parents are in music as well.
Yeah,
but
genetics just took over and that's what he did.
Yes, but at that time, Willie went to Clark. Willie and Don Cannon were roommates. Don Cannon was a DJ, and he also was a producer. So he's making the beats while Willie is rapping over the beats. Willie had his first tape was called Almost Famous, and Don Cannon was the producer of that. First, let's call it official music. And Don Cannon being from Philadelphia and DJ Drama being from Philadelphia, as well as DJ Sense being from Philadelphia, that group of fellas wind up, because Drama's a lot older than us, so he ended up graduating, and he's a communications major, so that of course made it him a DJ and so on and so forth. Right. And together they were in a group called Cloud 9 DJs, like a collective of DJs, not just those three, but a lot of them. Yeah. So they end up forming a group of just the DJs that are from Philly called the Affiliates.
Exactly.
So Willie would be one of their original artists under Affiliates. So that's kind of how that
So that's when you hear Affiliates, nigga.
Yes,
you feel
and,
me?
and
That
the Gangsta Grills
and
all that.
Yeah, we grew up on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you was around in the 2006 to 2010, 11, 12,
True.
that was dominating the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? Gangsta Grills.
True.
You know what I'm saying? DJ Drama.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
DJ
Affiliates.
Sense, DJ Don
Sense,
Cannon.
Don Cannon. It
Yes.
was mixtape era.
Yes.
You can't
yes.
say the mixtape without saying any one of them names,
Yes.
man. But please continue, my brother. My fault.
So at that point, you know, Westside, though he had a group of siblings, he had a sibling, and then he had his cousin who also has a sibling, and they all rap. They all from Buffalo. They all real good. They all real street.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually was living the lyrics. So that got them in trouble.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Right.
You know, so and it, don't get me wrong, Buffalo's a very harsh town. You know, it's probably equally as harsh as Detroit, or maybe worse. So
When you say that, are you saying like rough as far as economically, or are you
Yes.
saying okay? All
yes,
right.
very rough as far as economics. I don't know if any of you guys have been to Buffalo, but it's a very rough, desolate place.
Nah, my college roommates is from Rochester.
Okay, which is equally as bad.
You know what
Equally
I'm
as
saying?
bad.
Like
Yes.
they told me about Dewey Ave and
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
I'm well versed in upstate New York. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I ain't
Yes.
never been to Buffalo, but
Yes.
Rochester and,
Yes.
and all of that area, yeah, they say it's like
It's
that.
like that. It's
Yeah.
like that. It's like that. So, you know, Wes and the rest of his crew, they formed a collective called Street Entertainment. So you might, if you was get any way of looking into the past, look up Buff City Records.
Buff City Records.
If you look that up, then you'll find all the old nostalgic music from Benny or Conway or Machine Gun Black or West Side Gun. And, you know, that's a way for y'all to, you know, to lead down that path of hearing some of the oldies but goodies.
Okay, right.
So they wind up signing a record deal to Buff City, and they went under the name as a collective, a group called Street Entertainment, or SE Gang is what they would rep. But they was great. And while Willie was getting on with Drama and Cannon and them, I'm letting him hear it. Like, hey, you remember my man? Here's their music. He like, damn, this sound good. He like, but what they doing with it? And I'm like, this is what they doing with it. But they, you know, they in and out of prison.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Because they actually live in the things that they rapping about in the music.
Because and we gon' so in between the time that Westside, he ended up catching the case, right?
Yes.
And then Benny was locked up.
Yes.
And then in between that same little time, I think Conway might have got shot.
Well, so Conway didn't get shot till later on in life.
Okay.
So, initially, like I said, Benny was going to jail. Now, Machine Gun ended up getting killed, which is his older brother.
There we go.
And he was actually, he had this real unorthodox style, kind of like a ODB of their crew. I mean, he was amazing though. And, you know, happenstance, he ended up getting killed, and, you know, things kind of went down from that point. And Westside, of course, is devastated by it because this is his big cousin, and he kind of looked out for him. You know, he was the more toughest of the group. You know what I mean? And that's how it usually goes. The toughest or the roughest usually, you know, falls off at a earlier age than some of the others. So them being in and out of prison while Willie is making his rise from prison, Westside is writing Willie and saying, hey man, you know, I should have embraced what you had going on instead of competing. You understand what I'm saying? And if any of y'all ask Willie, he can attest to this. But when I get out, I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna get with Ronski and we gonna come around and we gonna do something good. Now, initially before Westside went to prison, he told me about the fashion school.
Right.
Hey man, I'm going to this fashion school. You should come. So I'm like, word. He like, go down there and sign up. I went down there and signed up. He was signed up as well. But when school started, he was nowhere to be found. When I find out about it, he in prison. That's what ended up happening. So he ended up getting locked up. And then I went to the school looking for him. Now I'm enrolled and he ain't nowhere to be found.
Crazy.
So, when he got out, we of course reconvened, and we still tight to this day.
Salute, man. That's dope.
So what ended up happening was Westside stayed the style of rap that y'all hear him rapping right now. He has rapped like that all way from back then to now. He
perfected it.
Yes. However, Benny, which his name used to be 2 Chainz, before 2 Chainz.
Wait a minute. So, because he had to do a metamorphosis.
Yes.
Titty boy.
Yes.
So you saying that because and Benny was down in Atlanta?
He was in Atlanta and Buffalo, back and forth. Now at that time, Benny had a imprint called Black Blood ENT, which would have been a subsidiary of Buff City. So Buff City is the parent who they're signed to, and then Benny and his friend City Boy, they had their own entity called Black Blood ENT. But because the feds was calling Black Blood a gang, they changed it to Black Soprano Family, so they can't call it a gang no more. BSF. So that's where BSF comes from.
So that's been in the works for years.
Yeah, for years. I'm talking about 2003, 2004.
Because the fans like they want to make something out of nothing, right?
True.
You know what I'm saying? So when you see Griselda as the the hub, right? Like kind of like the in the hive, it's kind of like the queen. You feel me?
Okay.
You remove the queen from out the hive, the worker bees start going crazy, which is the fans. You feel me? Not knowing that this structure ain't going nowhere. Even if you remove it, it's already there.
Yes.
But this has been in the works for a long time.
Oh yeah. So again, let's go back a little bit. Initially, there wasn't a Griselda. It was Regan era. That was where it started.
Yeah.
So I want to take a little sidebar here. I'm what you call like an incubator. So you've all seen babies born at the hospital.
Right.
Some of them are premature and they have to remain in an incubator for a while until they get up to a point where they can go and be out of the incubator.
Right.
So for Westside's imprint, which is called Griselda, Willie also has an imprint called GRUSA.
Yes.
But originally it was Gun Rule USA, which is the name of the town. So I pretty much started the imprint for both of the individuals. GRUSA for Willie, Griselda for Westside Gun.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. This is news to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was under the impression that these two entities were separate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So as far as, let's say that the fans and what you're talking about with the fans now,
right?
The misconception is that Griselda is a group when it's not a group. Griselda is Westside's imprint. BSF is Benny's imprint. Drumwork is Conway's imprint. They are 3 separate individuals. Collectively, they signed a record deal with Shady as Griselda Records. But because of the way that they were introduced to the world assumes that they are a group. but there never was a group. So it's not like it can break up because it never was a group in the first place. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basically, Westside signed a deal with Shady for 3 albums. At that time, it made more sense because he really didn't want to rap in the first place.
Yeah.
Let me bring my cousin. Let me bring my brother in, and I'll turn at one of the albums in as What Would Sheen Gun Do? Like What Would Jesus Do?
Right.
Sheen Gun being they cousin. So that was one of the albums. Another album was Conway's album. And then the third album was Benny's album. So now he's made his contract obligations so that he can separate and do his own thing. And now the lion's share of his own imprint and his own albums come to him, as opposed to him doing a solo album with Shady.
Right.
And not getting the full lion's share. So the objective was, when Westside dropped Fly God, that's when the buzz started. He initially wanted a management deal with Eminem's partner, Rosenberg. So what happened was
Paul Rosenberg?
Yes. So Rosenberg, Westside wanted to be managed by Paul because Paul was managing Action Bronson. So he wanted to become under the management company of Paul, but Paul was like, well, wait, I see you got some traction with this. I might have something better for you. Just hold off. So at that time, I moved to California. Okay. So Westside is like, yo, well, what should I do? I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing. Press up some vinyls of Fly God and let's see what it does. Sold out in 5 minutes. And then a week later, those same vinyls were sold for $700, $800, $1,000 resale. Damn. So that's kind of where the idea of Paul saying, well, when I got something better for you, it was Eminem is who he was saying that was better for him. And then once they brought Shady into the picture, right, then instead of Westside signing as Fly God or Westside to Shady, he signed Griselda to Shady, and then gave the 3 albums as the obligation for the contract,
which was a kick catalyst for everybody.
Yes, so that way, instead of Westside being the only person with light shining on him, now he has light shining on his brother
under his umbrella. Yeah, under his umbrella, but it's ultimately getting the powered by Shady type.
Yes.
It's Griselda, but powered by Shady.
Yes. And also bringing light to the imprints that his brother and his cousin already had going on prior to him ever even starting Fly God. Prior to him ever starting a Hitler Wears Hermes 1 or 2 or 3. So when people think that it's like, oh, they breaking up, I'm looking at it like, no, they was never a group to break up.
Yeah. Us as consumers, we wasn't looking at it.
Y'all didn't look at it deeper than just a name. So they even when they were on like Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel introduced them as Griselda, like it was a group. So the world is just, they don't know. They only can see the surface or what, the outside. So I'm giving y'all a little bit more insight into the, let's say what's going on now with them as a collective.
Dope. So what's the world wanting, like, what can you give to the world like that they don't know about Ron Ski? You feel me? Like, give us something that the world needs to know outside of like the Griseldas, outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's something that the world does not know about Ron Ski? Okay, so initially I went to college for fashion. Now, while in college for fashion, I met a guy named Blue. He was the inside the mascot for the Falcons. Now, he was connected in the streets. Now, Blue connected me to another guy named Baby Blue. Rest in peace. Baby Blue was Demetrius's security.
I don't know if y'all know who Big Meech is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blue introduced me to Baby Blue. Once Baby Blue seen what I was doing, I was making custom sneakers, custom clothes. He like, hey man, I want you to meet my boss. I'm not knowing who his boss is. So he like, come to Justin's, come at this time. I'm gonna introduce you to my boss. Now, when he introduced me to his boss, I was amazed. He had a diamond ring on his finger that was the size of a nickel. I'm talking about this big.
Damn.
And he's like, and I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a young kid, fresh out of college. I got a folder with a bunch of different shirts and shoes and stuff. And he like, the Baby Blue like, no, you ain't got to show him all that. You good. Once I say you good, you good. So Meech wind up telling me that night, hey man, come with us. Now, they go to Magic City. I follow them to Magic City. Now, at Magic City, he give me a stack of ones so big that you can't hold it in your hand. Here you go. Just give it
Right.
out. So, I'm thinking, should I tuck this?
Man.
I'm just a nigga from Madison.
I'm finna have a sick day. I'm calling out sick. Hey.
But at the same time, I thought it was a test as well.
Yeah.
So instead of continuing to tuck the money, I'm like, I'm just gonna throw it on the strippers like how they are.
Exactly.
So after the strip club, he invited me into the fold. Hey man, I want you to do some clothes for us. I want you to do some clothes. Now at Justin's,
Yeah.
there was another guy who did jerseys. Now, this guy's name is T. T was a middleman to a white guy that was in Las Vegas, and his brand was called Legendary Game. Now, the white guy in Vegas was supplying T with the custom jerseys, and T was supplying the custom jerseys to people in Atlanta. Once he figured out that I knew how to do what the white guy could do,
Right.
he cut the white guy out and then put me in its place. And at that time, there was a throwback jersey store in Atlanta called Distant Replays. So he was taking custom orders from Distant Replays and making high school jerseys for different players. They didn't have no connection, so instead of calling it Legendary Game, he called it Exclusive Game.
Shout out Exclusive Game.
So at that time, me and T I would design and produce the jerseys. T would play the foreground in the face of the company and be out selling the jerseys. So
Fire.
that's kind of where I got my start, through Meech and through T, with Exclusive Game and the throwback jerseys. And that was where the whole ball of wax started going. At that point, I'm with celebrities. I'm making jerseys for all of your different music videos. I'm on set with, you name it. T.I., Little John, Little Scrappy, the list goes on. But he came, when I was in college, I was still finishing up. T came to the school and seen me working and was like, yo, I got this order for Birdman. Can you make it? That was my first time ever making anything for somebody that was going to be on television.
Right.
So I made a jersey for him. I made a jersey for Lil Wayne at the time. I made a jersey for the rest of the Hot Boys. It was in a music video. And from that point till now...
You remember what video?
I can't remember. It was early 2000s too.
Like 106 in Park type shit.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those. So, once the guy at Legendary Game got whiff of T now making Exclusive Game, then it was a little bit of a battle between the two. So T owed the white guy some money at that time because he was just fronting him the jersey.
Right.
He kept the money. We took that money and we began the whole Exclusive Game imprint with that funding from that he owed the white guy.
Starter pack.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Happy Juneteenth.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We cutting out the middleman. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Yes,
if
sir.
you're not with the man, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what your issue is,
Yes,
but
sir.
hey, we got to get it in how we get it in. And if you're not fitting in, then hey, we still gonna get the win. You heard me?
Yes, sir.
30. Get back with me. But my brother Ron Ski, he's been dropping some mad crazy like exclusive shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't been able to, you know what I'm saying, really shake up the internet like this. You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna shake up the internet with this one. But I got one more question for you, my brother,
sir.
and then we're gonna let you get to your, you know what I'm saying, get to your destination.
Yes, sir.
Who's some artists that you feel like, man, could use, you know what I'm saying, as we talking about a starter pack, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Who would be like some artists that you would want to like design some stuff for, like some create a vision for them, you know what I'm saying? Like a actual wardrobe, or just a different type of, like, just giving them something different that'll give the world more of an insight to what they're doing, like how you did with, you know, countless, you name, you know what I'm saying, several artists that you've dealt with, you know what I'm saying? So like, who's some artists that you feel like could use this starter pack that Ron Ski has been able to bless a lot of people with?
You know what? In the realm of, let's say, this starter pack that you're talking about,
Yeah.
What I kind of want anyone to know, or anyone to understand about, let's say, this clothing world or merch world.
For sure. Break it down, brother. Break it down.
There's a difference between merch
Yeah.
and fashion designing. And I want everybody to understand the difference. Merch is generally the similar silhouettes, right? And when I say silhouettes, let's just call them blanks, right? And let's say it will have a logo or an imprint on it with your branding, right?
Right.
So if you have a brand and you have something that you want to push, and the way you want to push it is through merch, then you just imprint onto your blank merchandise, and you get the branding out like that. However, if you really have passion for fashion, then I would say study real fashion designers as well as real fashion brands, so that you don't get the two lines blurred.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And do your due diligence if you're an artist.
Okay, so I guess let me word this question a little bit better. So what artists would you say are using those different avenues the best? Like, who's some artists that you've been like, okay, he got it, you know what I'm saying, he's moving, he's doing exactly what I would do, like, or like I see where you're going with this vision, like you using your artistry or your branding and merch, and you're using it to your advantage, or you're hopping into that fashion lane and you actually walking in that, and you know what you're doing, and you get to the right venues, the right galas, the right fashion designers that's, you know what I'm saying, getting you the placement that you desire.
Okay, if I had to just narrow down an artist that I believe was doing something that was, let's say, prolific.
Shout out to Prolific Gold Visuals.
Oh yeah, shout out to him. Outside of the West Side Gun, I would say,
you feel like they still carrying the wave? Like, you feel like they still carrying the wave as far as that is concerned? You feel like that people still following that?
I feel like West has something going on. I feel like West keeps it simple. I feel like West understands, you know, streetwear, right? But outside of him, there's a hip hop artist that his name is Stars Coleman.
Stars Coleman.
He's from New Jersey.
Okay. We was talking about planting your flag somewhere else.
Yes.
And, you know, I started off, you know, my music career. It started here, but I went to college in Cleveland.
Yes.
And, you know, shout out to my brother Stan G, you know what I'm saying? We was down there, you know, doing the football thing, but he came with the bright idea to, because I was burning shit, you know what I'm saying? I was one of the illest on campus, and he came, you know, upstairs and was like, "Oh, you rap?" You know, whoop, whoop. And we started battling, and you know, I flamed him up real quick, you know what I'm saying? And after that, it was just like wildfire.
Yes.
So my coach, he had the bright idea one day after practice. I go into the facility, and he's got a video playing like all across the locker room.
Okay, dope.
And it was a video of me.
Dope.
It was a video that I had just recorded about 2 or 3 months earlier before I came down to Cleveland, of a freestyle.
Yeah.
So shout out to my brother Young Lover.
Dope.
And I go into the locker room, and all my teammates looking like, "Hey, Book, that's you? That's you?" And I'm looking like what's going on? You know what I mean? I'm like, what's so I run to the coach's office, and he's like on some like Don, you know what I'm saying, Don Cartagena, you know what I'm saying? Just super like Al Pacino, just like it was like a mob boss. He had his back turned to me.
Okay.
And he turned the chair around, and he's like, "You rap?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, coach, yeah, you clearly, you know,
it.
Yeah." And he like, "Okay, I want you to do a rap about all your teammates and coaches, and present it on Friday."
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, this was Monday. This was first practice of the week. So I'm like, bet, you know, cool, like cool. So I pin up a nice verse.
Okay.
And I remember Friday come after practice, he get everybody huddled up. "All right, we got a presentation, y'all. You know what I mean? We got a rapper on the team. We got a rapper on the team."
Yeah, musician.
So he like, you know, so he tell me to go get my rap, and I rap in front of the whole team.
Nice.
Like, and I had them going. Like we had a coach called Coach Roberson, and we called him Lil Bill. Okay. He looked just like the cartoon Lil Bill.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I had to, you know, I put that in the rap because he was always mad about us calling that shit, but he was like, it was like a callback for everybody on the team. So I had to, you know, I wish I could remember what I said, but I know I came with skill and da-da-da-da.
No, you put it together.
I was like Coach Roberson, he still looked like Lil Bill, and everybody, it was super hot.
The punchlines was hidden.
It was lit. It was lit. So we had a moment. So that was like one of my like moments where I felt like my mission was met with the whole passion of how did I get there? You know what I'm saying? And that comes with the podcast. That was like the inception of like everything. Like how did I get here? Is the mission statement of everything that I kind of move with, even in my music. And I feel like how you got here with your fashion and just being like a lyrical savant with fashion, you know what I'm saying? You speak with the fashion, you know what I'm saying? So like I kind of got that off the rip, man, as far as like how you bring, you know what I'm saying, all of those different elements together. So what's your last words for the people, man? What's your mission statement, man, going forward, and how can the people find you, man, and be able to tap in with you?
Mission statement is just to continue to put points on the board, right? So I've done it all when it comes to apparel and fashion. I've also designed accessories and luggage as well. I know you guys probably heard of a brand called Tote and Carry. I'm a head designer for that brand as well. And I recently segued into just plain old art. I'm doing sculptures. I'm collaborating with the city of Dallas. They've collaborated with me on 2 or 3 occasions, and we got a $7 million stipend to redo a theater in Dallas. So I'm going to be doing a permanent piece in that theater when it gets all up and running. And you know, all I want to tell people is, if you really want to do something and you really feel like you're good at something, don't do it for the fame. Don't do it for the notoriety. Do it because you have passion in it, and do it to be better than what you was the day before that.
That part.
Don't do it to get likes and shine, because it's going to come when you put the work in. Put the work in, nurture your talent, nurture your passion, nurture whatever you're trying to do creatively, and don't give up. You understand what I'm saying? Stick to it, regardless if anybody is clapping. You understand? Because if you live for the applause, then you will die for the boos.
There we go.
You understand? So live for your own self, shine for your own self, look at yourself in the mirror, and eventually, once people see that light bright shining within you, they're gonna be attracted like moths into a flame. And that's pretty much how I can put that. If y'all wanna check me out and follow my journey, you can follow my personal Instagram is LE365, and my brand's Instagram is Regan Era. That's it. REAGANERA.
So yeah, man, I wanted to know how you even thought of the Ronald Reagan era tag. You know what I mean?
Okay, so initially, the acronym for the brand is BFS88. So 88 being the end of the Reagan administration. Been fly since 88, which is the end of the Reagan administration. I don't know if any of y'all know, but the way that this country is right now is a derivative of the things that Ronald Reagan did to our community.
Exactly.
He devastated our community. He kind of, changed the world in the bad way, in a negative way, and by bringing dope into the world. I'm just trying to bring dope clothes into the world the same way that he was bringing dope into our community, and flip it and be on the positive side.
Of course, we got to make sure that, man, we do to them what they done to us. You know what I'm saying? You want to pollute the community, we going to make sure we come through with the waste management program. You feel me?
Clean it up and provide some balance to
exactly,
it,
exactly. My brother Ron Ski, man, I appreciate you coming to tap in. You already know what time it is. My brother has been all across the world, and you know, he right here with us. So how did we get here? Connecting the dots, you know what I'm saying? Real, recognize real. So, you know what I'm saying? Check us out, man. We got a couple things popping in the work. So when y'all see this, y'all was here with us, but y'all wasn't here with us. But y'all here with us because you hearing what we saying and we dropping games. So we'll get back at y'all with another one. How did we get here?
Potentially cause an issue. Loafing with your loaf, don't let the bread truck hit you. Pumping nickel pumper plays with all type of J's. Finding ways to make it off the stage. He had the life of sage. Had to fight for days to survive. Make sure his life is saved. Save time raising his child without no care or change. Colonel Whitaker with peas. It wasn't sweet at all. True to try to see what's to it. And rounds and squeeze them off. See you walk. SOS signals. We can see you lost. Dine and dash. Strapped for the cash. He never paid his calls. Rich Ross. Doughboy vibes. He took a bumper soft. Twisted.